When Ryan's towel slipped during our massage, time froze. His gaze, raw with desire, mirrored my hidden feelings. From an innocent favor bloomed a forbidden kiss, but betrayal by those closest in society's judgment threatened to shatter our love. Could we survive the storm of pain and rejection? The rain pounded relentlessly against the windows of my wellness center that fateful Seattle evening, creating a rhythmic backdrop as Ryan pushed through the door, his broad shoulders carrying the invisible burden of a long day. Our friendship had endured for 7 transformative years, originating in the clanging weights and motivational shouts of a local gym, where we'd become spotters not just for lifts but for life's heavier loads. Those after-workout coffees evolved into confessional sessions, where we'd dissect our frustrating careers, familial obligations, and the elusive pursuits that fueled our passions. I'm Alex, 28, a passionate massage therapist who had poured my heart into crafting a serene downtown oasis for harried urbanites desperate to escape the city's ceaseless hustle. Ryan, at 30, embodied the classic engineer archetype, precise, irresistibly charismatic, armed with a sarcasm that could diffuse any awkwardness. He'd rib me constantly about his persistent back aches from endless hours bent over technical drawings, but only a severe muscle strain from an ambitious ascent of Mount Rainier prompted him to finally schedule a session. He arrived appearing more drained than I'd witnessed in ages, his eyes betraying a weariness that ran deeper than physical pain, maybe lingering personal doubts or stresses he hadn't shared. "Alex, my man, it's time you work your magic and fix this mess," he quipped with his trademark half-smile, attempting to conceal his vulnerability. I maintained my professional composure. "Get comfortable, strip to your level, and position face down under the towel. I'll give you privacy." Upon re-entering, he was set, the towel neatly in place. I softened the lighting to a calming ambience, rubbed oil between my palms to warm it, and commenced on his shoulders, sensing the rigid tensions gradually surrender as his respirations slowed into tranquil exhalations. Everything proceeded routinely until the transition. "Time to turn over, Ryan," I directed nonchalantly. In the movement, the towel dislodged completely, tumbling to the floor. The world paused in that instant. He made no move to retrieve it or lighten the mood with humor. Rather, he remained reclined, his gaze piercing mine with an unmasked fragility that electrified the room, a tacit dare. My heart thrashed erratically. I'd concealed my burgeoning affection for him for what felt like eternity, petrified that revelation would demolish our camaraderie or culminate in the stinging dismissal I'd endured before. The hush enveloped us, dense and pulsating with latent energy. "Alex," he murmured, his tone hushed and uncertain, "this instant, it's transcended mere therapy, hasn't it? I've sensed this attraction building, one I can no longer dismiss." I stood immobilized, my heartbeat echoing loudly. Our connection was profound, forged through countless midnight discussions on ambitions, anxieties, and societal strains. I declared my gay identity years earlier, weathering the understated censures from peers and kin, but Ryan had perpetually seemed the archetype of heteronormativity, seamlessly aligning with conventional expectations. Nevertheless, his expression now conveyed not apprehension or aversion, but authentic intrigue and possibly a flicker of yearning. I inhaled deeply, advancing and laying a quivering palm on his shoulder, absorbing his skin's warmth. "Ryan, we're not obligated to venture where you're unsure," I uttered gently, my voice faltering. He extended his hand, fingers tenderly clasping my wrist, drawing me nearer. Our mouths connected in a delicate, probing kiss that unleashed a torrent of suppressed sentiments, hesitant initially, then intensifying as accumulated emotions erupted. It was authentic, profound, yet profoundly alarming. Could this singular event unravel the tapestry of our bond? We separated, breaths labored, brows pressed together. "This confusion has plagued me for months," he divulged, eyes probing mine. "There's this undeniable draw to you, but my upbringing, society, family, they've ingrained that this is immoral, taboo. How do I navigate these conflicting emotions?" I perched on the table's edge, barring vulnerabilities seldom exposed. "Ryan, I've navigated those waters, the crushing, unreturned infatuations that faded into nothingness, the abrupt disappearances that eroded my self-esteem. But if this resonates with you, we can proceed cautiously, decipher it jointly in secrecy without haste." We conversed extensively, committing to gradual exploration. Yet as he clothed himself and ventured into the deluge, uncertainty slithered in. Was this reciprocal, or was I courting yet another devastating disillusionment? Subsequent days unfolded in a flurry of messages that started flirtatious to profoundly intimate. "My folks persistently advocate for matrimony, offspring, the idyllic suburban existence," he revealed one night. "It compels me to ponder if authenticity is attainable for me." I countered with candor. "Terror grips me too, of investing in someone incapable of matching my devotion. It's happened before, nearly shattered me." But upon his return for our subsequent appointment, the atmosphere crackled. Our embrace was audacious, assured, palms traversing established limits with reciprocal assurance. You render me visible, Alex, he breathed, lips grazing my collarbone, beyond companionship or patronage, as a man meriting such affection. For the first instance in eons, I experienced genuine appreciation. Nonetheless, strain accumulated. Murmurs at the gym regarding our intimacy ignited alarm. Seattle touts progressivism, but bias persists in shadows. Ryan's distress crested following a colleague's quip about our passionate camaraderie. Suppose discovery precedes preparedness before we've labeled this, he queried urgently during a swift caffeine rendezvous, fingers drumming nervously. I covertly covered his hand beneath the table. We'll confront it unitedly. Admittedly, the prospect of your loss to dread terrifies me. Internally, however, I fortified for the sorrow frequently accompanying clandestine passions. To elongate the narrative further, let's recall a flashback to our initial meeting at the gym. It was a crowded afternoon, and I was struggling with a heavy set when Ryan offered to spot me. "Need a hand there?" he asked with a friendly smile. From that simple act, our friendship sparked, growing through shared workouts and conversations that revealed our common ground, both feeling trapped in unfulfilling jobs, both yearning for more meaningful connections. Those early days were filled with innocent camaraderie, like the time we challenged each other to a pull-up contest, laughing until our sides ached when I won by a single rep. "You're tougher than you look," he said, clapping me on the back. Little did I know then that those moments were laying the foundation for something far deeper. Another interesting moment from our friendship: during a road trip to the coast, we got caught in a storm and had to pull over. Huddled in the car, we shared stories from childhood, my awkward teen years hiding my sexuality, his pressure to excel in sports to please his dad. "You've always been my rock," he said then, not knowing how those words would echo later in our romance. One more flashback to add depth: the time we volunteered at a local charity event, helping set up booths. Ryan's easy laugh and helpful nature drew people in, and I remember thinking how lucky I was to have him as a friend. "Teamwork makes the dream work," he joked, high-fiving me. That day, a subtle spark ignited, though I pushed it down, fearing it was one-sided. With our covert liaison blossoming, encounters transcended the center's confines. We embraced serene twilight strolls along Puget Sound's edges, briny gusts conveying our disclosures as surges caressed the pebbles. One fog-shrouded dusk, Ryan delved into his history, depicting his rigid rural Washington nurture. Weekly church attendance was non-negotiable, preachings reinforcing proper living, zero leniency for divergence, he articulated, tone infused with acrimony and melancholy. I resonated, recounting my trials. My relatives deemed my sexuality a transient aberration, a stage I'd surpass. Their disillusioned gazes linger in memory. These candid interchanges interlaced our carnal allure with emotional profundity, fortifying our nascent tie. An indelible evening post an energizing trek through verdant woods, we secured a remote nook beneath a stellar vault resembling scattered gems. He tugged me near, arms enveloping securely. "Alex, your company, it's profoundly correct, as if I've unearthed a lost fragment of my essence," he avowed, lips seizing mine in an assured, fervent union. We traversed inaugural, truly intimate instances delicately, digits entwined, forms converging, perpetually privileging sentimental linkage over precipitancy. Yet remorse sporadically veiled his countenance. "Do I forsake the self all anticipate, the conventional offspring, prospective patriarch?" he inquired, cranium upon my thorax as we reclined. I disclosed my trajectory to self-embrace. Counseling salvaged me, enabling resistance to communal scrutinies and murmurs. "It's not disloyalty, Ryan, it's maturation, embodying your destiny." Thence our affection burgeoned. He frequented overnights, dawns suffused with peaceful contentment, his proximity mending antiquated lesions like a mild unguent. We'd improvise in the galley, attempting novelties, chortling uncontrollably as flapjacks charred or condiments sprayed. Who conceived household tasks could exhilarate thus? He bantered one morn, pilfering a smooch whilst I turned over, palms loitering on my midriff. But fissures materialized inescapably. A standard familial communication rendered him aloof, gazing vacantly through the pane for eons. Knowledge of us would prompt immediate disavowal, he ultimately conceded, timbre quavering with dread. The utterance assaulted me, rousing personal insecurities concerning another affection potentially unreciprocated owing to extrinsic forces. Notwithstanding, we endured, savoring minor delights, compiling soundtracks for excursions, disputing cinematic revelations into wee hours, or merely clutching one another amid tranquil vespers. Strain amplified when Jake, our gym acquaintance, commenced inquiring. Amid a relaxed collective outing over ales, he inclined with a cunning smirk. "You're virtually conjoined lately. Confess, is there additional?" We repelled with coerced mirth and ambiguous rejections, but Ryan's unease detonated subsequently in seclusion. "Should gossip propagate pre-readiness? I'm unsure of managing the repercussions," he agonized, traversing the chamber. I drew him into a hug. It petrifies me likewise, but fear can't govern. We've constructed authenticity. Yet beneath consoling utterances, apprehension endured, the terror of perfidy not from him, but a realm adamant on obscurity. Our alliance culminated during a romantic escapade to a quaint lodge in the Olympic Peninsula's wilds. Encased by lofty conifers, we exposed spirits, Ryan voicing aspiration to disclose eventually, autonomously, whilst I articulated craving for devoted alliance sans obscurity. Our osculations heightened, physiques surveying with reciprocal veneration and deference, yet we ceased when sentiments crested, honoring his tempo necessity. Alex, I adore you genuinely, intensely, he susurrated in flickering taper glow, eyes glistening with veracity. My core ascended, this affection was bilateral, sublime, but reverting to Seattle's teeming avenues, verity encroached, an anonymous missive thrust under my gym compartment, concealments like yours invariably surface. Alarm surged, who possessed our verity and their intentions. To add more depth, let's insert a scene from one of our Puget Sound walks. As we sat on a driftwood log, watching the sunset paint the water orange, Ryan turned to me. Remember that time we got lost on a hike and ended up laughing about it for hours? He asked. Those moments made me realize how much I value you. I smiled, replying, yeah, and how you carried my pack when I twisted my ankle. That's when I started falling for you, even if I didn't admit it. We shared a kiss then, the kind that spoke volumes without words, solidifying our growing connection. Another interesting moment, during a movie night, a scene with a gay couple facing societal pressure hit close to home. That could be us, Ryan said, pausing the film, but I don't want to hide forever. We talked for hours about our fears and hopes, deepening our emotional bond even further. One more scene to extend, we decided to try cooking a fancy dinner together, ending in chaos with sauce everywhere. This is a disaster, I laughed, but the best kind, he replied, pulling me into a kiss amid the mess. With you, even failures feel like wins. It was moments like these that made the secret worth it. The maelstrom ignited abruptly and ferociously, fracturing our tenuous tranquility. It originated with Jake, whose envy had simmered undetected. He'd harbored unrequited affection for Ryan for ages, and our palpable intimacy propelled him to vindictiveness. He disseminated malevolent whispers at the gym. Alex corrupted Ryan, converted him homosexual. It's repugnant, aberrant. Subtle mutterings morphed into overt gawking and sidelong glances, clients abruptly annulling rendezvous, referencing nebulous unease with my existence choices. Community's denunciation crashed, nameless antagonists inundated my enterprise's digital profiles with vitriolic epithets, designating me hunter and abnormal, each term a blade to my dignity. The ruin apexed when Jake anonymously disseminated a snapshot of us, a sensitive, confidential instant unwittingly documented to Ryan's kin. His progenitors telephoned forthwith, intonations steeped in rage and loathing. This depravity authentic, you're electing this sinful route, you're non-existent to us unless repentance, his pater roared via the conduit, reciting sacred texts like armaments. Ryan disintegrated, withdrawing into self-skepticism's cocoon. That eve he materialized at my threshold, optics puffy from weeping. I can't sustain this, Alex, he wailed, traversing frenetically. The mortification they impose, the letdown, it's insupportable. Perhaps they're accurate, perhaps this erroneous. Devastated, I seized his limbs, imploring frantically, Ryan, you vowed we'd combat this gale unitedly. Don't permit their myopic bigotry demolish our possession. It's genuine, it's we. Our dialogue degenerated into fervent disputes, indictments soaring, him attributing community, me beseeching fortitude, until he bolted, banging the portal on our destiny. In the wake, seclusion engulfed me entirely. Additional patrons evaporated, compelling humiliating defenses of my being. My private existence bears no on professional aptitude, I'd affirm, but fiscal and sentimental toll escalated. Ryan relocated fleetingly to natal abode, subjected to grueling reorientation dialogues orchestrated by kin, who assailed him with pseudo-knowledge and culpability excursions. Jake's disloyalty surpassed tattle. It obliterated existences, inducing comrades to recede in uncomfortable quietude and community to stamp us as pariahs, monsters undeserving fundamental regard. I descended to nadir, huddled abed for days, murmuring to emptiness. Why endeavor adoring when it perpetually concludes in torment? In a realm this malevolent, is bliss feasible for our kind? A startling reversal transpired when Ryan unearthed Jake's condemning communications, maniacal missives proclaiming eternal devotion and animosity. He accosted Jake in a strained cafe encounter, device discreetly capturing. Confess, Ryan insisted. You perpetrated this since if you couldn't possess me, none could, particularly not Alex. Jake's visage blanched as he admitted, affirmative, envy devoured me. I sought to devastate your possession. The documentation incited ramifications. Jake dismissed post-HR scrutiny into molestation, and shared associates exiled him, imposing liability for wrought havoc. "You've forfeited all cherished due to malice," Ryan informed frigidly, departing with resolution. Yet agony persisted. Ryan's kin severed connections, disregarding communications and obstructing digits. I dispatched poignant note, "Daily absence tortures. We can reconstruct, please attempt." The echoing muteness magnified despondency, persuading me our affection irrevocably forfeited, submerged in treachery and communal repulse. To heighten the drama, let's detail the argument scene more. As Ryan paced, he said, "My whole life I've tried to be the perfect son, the straight arrow. This as it's blowing it all up." I countered, "But is that life worth living if it's a lie? We've found something beautiful, don't throw it away because of their fear." Tears flowed as he replied, "I want to fight, but the pain is too much. I need time." The door slam echoed like a finality. An additional twist: before the full betrayal, Jake confronted Ryan privately. "I saw you two together," he said, voice shaking with jealousy. "How could you choose him over me?" Ryan, shocked, denied at first, but the seed of exposure was planted, leading to the leak. Another moment after the family call, Ryan broke down, saying, "They said I'm dead to them. How do I choose between you and them?" I held him. "You don't have to choose. Love should be inclusive." But the seed of doubt was sown. The months melded into a dull routine of counseling and compelled habits, until one fateful, tempest-tossed afternoon when Ryan materialized at my entrance, sodden and resolute, optics mirroring remorse and determination. "Alex, I've expended excessive duration concealing from self globe us. I'm prepared to battle for this," he proclaimed, entering as lightning illuminated. We slumped on the sofa, participating in our lifetime's most sincere discourse. He elaborated familial rejection's horror. "They labeled me shame, asserted I damned my spirit, it fractured me. But counseling illuminated, validating bisexuality as legitimate. Your loss catalyzed," he stated, clasping my palm. "It compelled confronting identity, and I can't repress longer." I exposed my essence reciprocally, delineating betrayal's enduring marks and arduous enterprise revival via LGBT-aligned coalitions. It seemed our affection trivial, readily discarded, I acknowledged, timbre wavering as lacrimae emerged. But resilience learned. We both, allied, we addressed phobias cooperatively. Ryan launched strained visual call with kin. "This genuine me, bisexual, profoundly enamored Alex. Embrace or not, but no falsehood for consolation." His sibling reacted with prompt ardor. Sibling, suspected years, love unconditional. Progenitors, initially dumbfounded, eventually uttered, processing required, suggesting potential accord. Communal backlash unabated, initial pride procession marred by demonstrators spewing venom. "How persevere amid hatred's clamor?" Ryan queried, clutching tighter amid turmoil. Potency surfaced from regional LGBT aid assemblies where we narrated endurance tale. "Overcoming betrayal inspires my disclosure," youthful participant imparted, embracing Ryan gratefully. Pivotal moment with Jake's compelled digital remorse. Envy prompted unforgivable deeds, profoundly regretful committed alteration. Ensuing backlash compelled introspection. He forfeited companionships, confronting solitude, non-aggressive equity underscoring liability. This absolution emancipated. Ryan resettled Seattle. We mended assurance gradually via forthright nights. "Feared your reabandonment," I confessed under stellar heavens. "Impossible," he pledged, smooch commitment seal. "Your anchor." Tie deepened via ordinary yet significant gestures, public palm clasping, challenging glares, hushed worth affirmations. Ryan's metamorphosis from disgrace to dignity motivated daily. My steadfast belief illustrated affection's perennial potency. With disputes settled, we funneled suffering into activism, guiding at communal occasions to steer others through analogous ordeals. Adding an interesting moment, during a support group meeting, Ryan shared a personal anecdote. "The first time I acknowledged my feelings was during a massage, a towel slip that changed everything," he said, glancing at me with a smile. The group laughed lightly, but it sparked discussions on unexpected turning points in their own lives, creating a bond among strangers. Another scene at a pride event, a protester shouted at us, "You're going to hell." Ryan, finding his voice, replied, "Love isn't sin, hate is." The crowd cheered, and it became a turning point for his confidence. One more dialogue. In therapy together, we discussed, "The betrayal made me doubt everything," I said. "But it also showed me what I can't live without you," Ryan responded, strengthening our resolve. Winter's frigid clasp relaxed into spring's lively hug, mirroring liaison's rebirth, flourishing renewed vigor, unyielding fortitude. Embracing transparency, narrated digitally, anticipating varied responses but garnering encouragement from unforeseen quarters. Ancient gym acquaintances extended regrets prior inaction, lapsed patrons returned, lauding valor. Ryan's progenitors initiated tentative, educating, dialogue commence. Not impeccable harmony but progressive stride, repairing rifts patience. Bond matured, liberated concealment's load. Weekends brimmed explorations, revisiting rainier paths injury ignited all, or intimate eves dissecting philosophy's wine. Never fathomed fulfillment, Ryan mused twilight, nestled lap watching sunset. Gym companions once aloof included warmly, regretting, failed standing sooner won't recur. Enterprise prospered, attracting spectrum patrons prizing diversity, converting adversity triumph. Immersed volunteer local LGBT hubs leading seminars surmounting treachery prejudice. Reconstructed post-heartbreak how, inquired adolescent cluster gathering. Ryan Candid commences self-embrace, tribe cultivating, therapy honesty time key. Reserved youth confided, experiences emboldened parental disclosure. Interactions validated mission, alchemizing individual anguish communal empowerment. Enchanting eve under Seattle glittering skyline, sound fairies gliding, Ryan faced earnest joy. Alex envisioned tomorrow unveiled, conjoint indomitable, proposed words vow. Spirit overflowed concurring, kiss affirming eternity. Treachery imparted responsibility lessons, tribulation sculpted tenacity. Transcended endurance, we prospered, affirming love's supremacy adversity. Inadvertent towel mishap catalyzed odyssey genuineness. All LGBT souls contending repudiation, self-affirmation paramount conquest, cling optimism, narrative resonates, love perseveres eternally. To conclude with hope, we planned a small celebration with supportive friends, toasting to new beginnings. Here's to us, Ryan said, raising his glass, and to everyone finding their way. The room filled with cheers, a testament to resilience and love's enduring power. Adding a final reflective dialogue, as we lay in bed one night, Ryan said, from a towel slip to this, life's full of surprises. I laughed, the best kind, I love you. Love you too, he replied, our future bright and open. Another hopeful moment, we adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing our new family. He's our little family starter, Ryan said as the pup licked our faces. It brought joy and a sense of normalcy to our lives. One more extension, volunteering led to us speaking at a conference. Our story is one of many, I said on stage, but it shows that love can conquer hate. The applause was deafening, affirming our path.